Chairman, I yield myself such time as I may consume. I'm delighted to present the 2010 Agriculture-FDA Appropriations Bill. I want to thank the ranking member, Congressman Kingston, for his collaboration and his input over the last few months. I thank both the minority and majority staff as well as for their tireless work. Lastly, and especially not least, a special thank you to Chairman Obey for his counsel and for the resources he provided to make this bill possible, and for his leadership and vision to ensure that we continue to get things done and achieve our goals. We stand today at a turning point. Today we're talking about people's lives struck hard by an economy in chaos, facing shrinking services and struggling with rising prices and unemployment. I believe the administration's budget demonstrates that it is interested, after years of underinvestment in the federal government's capabilities, in protecting public health, supporting American agriculture, strengthening rural communities, and conserving the environment. This bill proposes new investments in these priorities and the agencies that can help us meet them, while making specific and sensible budget cuts where feasible. As in recent years, the bill focuses on several key areas, such as protecting public health, bolstering food nutrition programs, investing in rural communities, supporting agricultural research, strengthening animal health and marketing programs, and conserving our natural resources. The fiscal year 2010 Agriculture-FDA Appropriations Bill provides for almost $23 billion in funding. It is an 11% increase over 2009 levels, and the vast majority of which went toward three program areas: the WIC program, the FDA, and international food aid. Additionally, in order to make these important investments, to use the resources available to it wisely, the bill proposes a number of cuts totaling more than $735 million. To protect the public health, the bill provides a substantial increase for the Food and Drug Administration to support a total discretionary funding level of almost $3 billion, or a 15% increase, almost $373 million. That is to hire additional inspectors, conduct more inspections of domestic and foreign food and medical products. And as many of us know, the FDA has been underfunded for far too long. This is not only a matter of public health and consumer safety, it is a matter of national and economic security. Not all of the dangers that threaten the health and safety of American families can be found in airports, border checkpoints, or harbor containers. Sometimes they lurk in our refrigerators and on our kitchen tables. From E. coli and cookie dough to salmonella and peanut butter, we have seen very real threats posed by food contamination in recent years, and we just cannot afford to neglect our food safety system any longer. The FDA's primary responsibility is to the American people to ensure the safety of the food they eat, the drugs they take, and the medical devices they rely on. With this increased funding, they'll have the resources and manpower they need to keep us safe. In addition, the bill fully funds the administration's request for the Food Safety and Inspection Service at the USDA, at the Department of Agriculture. It puts in over $1 billion for FSIS for the first time in history. In terms of conservation, the committee makes a significant investment in USDA's Natural Resource Conservation Program. The bill appropriates a total of $980 million for this purpose, a $73 million increase over the administration's request. The bill rejects the administration's cuts to the Natural Resources Conservation Service's Farm Bill conservation programs, which includes the Wetlands Reserve Program, the Farm and Ranch Lands Protection Program, and the Wildlife Incentives Program. It restores funding for other valuable programs, including the Resource Conservation and Development Program and the Watershed and Flood Prevention Operations Program. In the area of nutrition, the bill works to improve nutrition and help those hit the hardest by the current economic crisis. Food costs and participation in WIC continue to increase at dramatic rates, and the bill provides $7.5 billion for WIC to serve our nation's vulnerable populations, 10% above last year, to support participation of 10.1 million people. WIC is a program that we simply cannot afford to underfund any longer, particularly given the gravity of the current economic climate. Our fundamental responsibility as legislators and as leaders, to say nothing of basic morality and fairness, demand that we do everything we can to help Americans suffering right now from poverty and malnutrition. The area of international food aid, the bill expands Americans' traditional commitment to international food aid by providing an increase of $464 million to the PL 480 Title II grants program. We also provide an additional $99.5 million to the McGovern-Dole International Food for Education and Child Nutrition program. In the area of rural development, the bill creates new opportunities for growth and development in the nation's small-town economies by increasing funding for water and wastewater infrastructure grants by $73 million, provides $8.7 billion for housing, $541 million for community facilities, and $9.3 billion for the rural utility programs. In research, the bill makes significant investments in agricultural research, $1.2 billion for the Agricultural Research Service, nearly $1.2 billion for the Cooperative State Research, Education, and Extension Service. That money is allocated to such programs as the Hatch Act, Evans-Allen, the new Competitive Agriculture and Food Research Initiative, Smith-Lever, the 1890 programs, and the Veterinary Medical Services Act. With continuing volatility in the futures market, the bill provides the administration's request for the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, the CFTC. It's $160.6 million, $14.6 million, and 10% above 2009. And that is to better secure the markets from improper speculation. Just yesterday, the CFTC moved to stem heavy speculative trading in the oil, natural gas, and energy markets. With this increased funding, the Commission will be better poised to ensure market integrity for all honest brokers. In closing, I look forward to working with all of you today as we work to craft responsible agricultural legislation that alleviates short-term suffering, encourages long-term growth, invests in our future, and reflects our priorities as a nation. Let me take a moment to say thank you to our staff who have worked diligently to help put this bill together. The subcommittee majority staff, Martha Foley, our clerk, Leslie Barrick, Matthew Smith, Kirsten Milius, have worked closely with David Gibbons on the minority staff, and in addition, Brian Ronholm and Letty Medeiros and my staff, and Merritt Myers from Mr. Kingston's staff, all have worked very, very hard to bring this bill to the floor this evening. I hope the Congress will seize this opportunity to help American farmers and families in these tough times, get us moving again on a path to recovery. I urge you to support this bill, and thank you, and I reserve the balance of my time.
Gentlelady reserves the time. The gentleman from Georgia.